What is one thing about a person that immediately tells you they are dirt dumb? They always have the answer to everything and constantly try to show off how much they know. A more intelligent person knows they don't know everything and would listen before speaking. Intelligent people also open to learning new things instead of acting like they know better than everyone else. Oftentimes I see dumb people will cut people off mid-sentence and correct them too. Double down when you say something very sarcastic and they don't realize it and try to correct you while everyone else obviously sees the sarcasm. People who say it how it is or have truth seeker or free thinker in their bio. Their self-perceived honesty is really just a veiled attempt to be insulting and rude. The free thinkers are often people who deny anything that doesn't agree with their pre-established opinions. The truth seekers constantly spit misinformation and ask questions in bad faith, often falling into every logical fallacy you can Google. Don't get me started on people who say they do everything out of pure logic, acting as if their parents' experience makes them an expert on a subject. I have a co-worker like this who will completely double down when proven wrong. The man completely fucked up the engine on one of our pressure washers at work because he was convinced since his dad was a mechanic that he knew how to work on motors. No, John. Just because your dad was a mechanic doesn't mean you are one too. Also completely reliant on their parents' opinions to formulate their own. Can't think for themselves. Total inability to change their viewpoint or change anything about themselves. For that matter, they stick to their version of the world and their version only. They absolutely refute everyone else who crosses their path. Also, when someone talks about others constantly, when they gossip way too much and spend most of their waking hours just shit-talking or thinking of shit-talking other people, as in, they don't think about greater philosophical ideas, just the latest town drama. Any action that projects they are the main character. Zoom around me in an unsafe manner to make the exit ramp and put others in danger, dirt dumb. Barrel down the breakdown lane when traffic is stopped due to an accident because your time is very important, dirt dumb. Park over two lines in a parking lot with your precious car, dirt dumb. Park in handicap without a sticker because you'll just be a minute, dirt dumb. It's not an immediate sign that someone is dumb per se. They're having a lack of empathy. People who think they are the center of the world and do not even consider how their actions impact other people. Gia posted somewhere a while ago that suggested that you learn a lot about someone based on whether or not they return their shopping cart after using it as opposed to just leaving it in the parking lot. Absolutely no hobbies or curiosity, an actual conversation I had recently. So what do you do when you're not working? Nothing. Cool. What kinds of TV shows or movies or books are you into? Oh, I don't really read or watch much TV. Family Guy, mostly. So what do you think about everything going on with this whole IVF sanctity of life clusterfuck? I'm not really into politics. Willful ignorance, often disguised as someone else's fault. Errant gear when you did it. And he said he was an engineer and gave me all that boring engineering stuff and mansplained how it probably didn't work that way since you're not pedaling when you coast. Typical, right? They can't accept hard facts, especially statistics or from actual doctors. I've been diagnosed with ADHD by a therapist and a psychiatrist. My parents both acknowledge that I was really unusually hyper for a child and couldn't sleep even remain seated. ADHD meds have made my grades do a 180 from almost failing to getting on a roll. My dad doesn't think I have ADHD, that they think any person can be neatly summed up as smart or dumb. No matter who you are, everyone has something they know a lot about. They're also about a million things they know nothing about. Everybody is smart about something, even if it isn't something most people care about. Lord knows I'm a complete idiot on most things people would be considered important. People who voted for Trump the first time, that now act like they never liked him when they were the most annoying person on earth during that time. Then they voted for Biden. Then they hate Biden because the media says he is an idiot. They're just waiting for the media, a podcast, or a talk show to tell them what to think, and that screams I'm an idiot. Illogical stubbornness. People double down on the weirdest things. Hey, I'm trying to open this door. I'm turning the knob to the left and it won't open, can you help me? Sure. Try turning it to the right. No. I'm trying to open it by turning to the left. So if you can't help with that NVM. This is just a joke, but it's that type of thinking. They blame everything on elected officials and then explain how they can easily fix issue X, Y or Z by doing A, B or C. 99% of the time. It is never that simple, but they are unable and interested in learning all the other perspectives or other things that get impacted. They have their own conversation with you instead of responding to what you've said. Their response is based on what they wanted you to say so that they don't have to actually think in order to continue talking. I have a conspiracy theorist parent-in-law. They like easy labels on everything. He's a Democrat, I'm a liberal, she's a conservative. Doesn't make you dirt dumb per se, but it clearly shows that you like things nice and easy where you don't have to think with too much complexity and or nuance. I swear there is a direct correlation between the misuse of your and some really dumb shit being said or written. Saying goes for 222 and there. I know people hate to hear this and may find it elitist. But it's true. The inability to understand statistics. I have so many people tell me that they're different or they've never experienced a particular thing, so it can't be the case. They just can't show a little introspection about their own behavior versus others. Research about Bitcoin and still think zero allocation to it is the correct risk-reward assessment. Honestly, you probably deserve to be poor for refusing to think outside of the box you were born into. Close-mindedness. General lack of interest in different ideas. Perspectives. The world around them. I believe the big 5 personality trait is called openness. People low in openness are usually less intelligent. If they idolize billionaires, not talking about idolizing the idea of prosperity and success, but idolizing the actual people. People who take Elon Musk's word as gospel on account of his wealth. For example, talking about flat earth or astrology like it's science. I cannot have conversations with people like that. I know some. I'm friends with them. But I do not have the interest in getting to know new ones. If someone is very, very religious, it takes a lot for me to think they are smart. I've met a few extraordinarily compartmentalized people. This is all open to critical analysis. This is faith. People who are incapable of understanding hypothetical questions. Not that they don't like the hypothetical, or they were confused by the question, but rather are unable to imagine hypotheticals. How to train someone how to empty a full vacuum. I gave them the benefit of the doubt and thought, hey, maybe they don't use vacuums all the time. He then asked me how to turn it on, rigidly adhering to their views and refusing to consider any arguments or challenges to them. Truly intelligent people aren't afraid of truly examining their beliefs once in a while. MAGA hat, it was one thing in 2016. But if you're still on the Trump train, you're deficient in something. Especially so where I'm at Canada. I saw one at the bar the other day. Racist, homophobic and or misogynistic comments. If they think Donald Trump's behavior is acceptable for a presidential candidate, obviously a Trumpster downvoted this comment. Talking just for talking, not for purpose. Dwelling on every drama and wasting every second over drama. Screaming in a conversation instead of just admitting you're wrong. Anyone who uses the word dirt. Lots of angry civil engineers. My old professor would reprimand anyone using that term in his Saul's class. And it always stuck with me. They copy and paste some shit on Facebook how they don't consent to privacy invasion and believe be posting this as their status. Have protected themselves somehow. When they try to say a word in their native language, it has been enunciated very clearly, and they give up halfway through for no reason other than word to heart. Conflicting views, or an overall lack of consistency in the way they view the world that makes it obvious that they have not thought through the things they believe. An inability to formulate plan B. They have something they need to do, But as soon as they hit an obstacle, they assume it's an insurmountable problem and give up. MAGA hat or a Confederate flag. People who are willing to buy that kind of merch are not people willing to listen to counterpoints to anything they believe in. I knew the ladies at the grocery store today gathering signatures to create election integrity were pretty fucking stupid without having to talk to them. When someone asks a question about something he does not know anything about and states his own opinion at the end and starts arguing that it is correct, bragging about how they have a job and also don't do any drugs. So you adult-like people are supposed to raise the bar a bit, geez. Limited vocabulary people with a limited vocabulary may use a limited number of words or may not be able to explain their thoughts or ideas. Being a Trump supporter, obviously. But even worse are the ones who love Trump and also claim to be Christians. They're even dumber than dirt. If someone seriously uses the phrase "I'm not the book person" as if it's a badge of honor, I can't help but question their desire to learn. People who bitch about political issues and candidates but don't vote. If you don't vote, you don't have a political opinion, period. When they think all media is biased except the one outlet that agrees with their worldview, it's usually a sign of being uninformed. People who think being rude or disrespectful is a sign of being straightforward and honest typically lack emotional intelligence. When they are more interested in celebrity gossip than any form of educational content, it often indicates a superficial mindset. They tell you how much smarter than everybody else they're unprovoked. Only ever heard this sentiment from absolute idiots.